So there's finally a new Fantastic Four movie coming out. I keep reading about how they're taking the first steps to release the Roger Corman movie from '94 into theaters. I figured now would be the perfect time to take a look at one of the few Fantastic Four games I haven't played, Rise of the Silver Surfer. I actually have a pretty distinct memory involving this game. It was the end of June 2014. I was at the York Galleria Mall GameStop in York, Pennsylvania, and I was trying to choose between this and Tron Evolution. Tron Evolution I chose, which was also a great game, so that was a good choice. Maybe we'll get to that one day, but I've always been curious about this game, so this is kind of a full circle moment for me. I hope it turns out at least somewhat good. The game starts off at a blocked-off cave in the Scroll's base.
How does what's going on underground have anything to do with all that craziness up there?
Yeah, I got the same question as Hothead here.
I'm not gonna rag on the voice acting too hard, but could they really not find a better thing? I mean, my god. So the cave collapses in on you, and then that's where the game starts off. So you can swap between all 4 Fantastic Four members, and they all have different abilities and powers, and outside and inside of combat. As you saw there, Ben can smash through things like rubble and doors. Sue Storm can go invisible and pass through these blue lasers specifically, not the red ones, but the blue ones. Reed can do this thing called periscope punch where he stretches up and hits something high up, like if it's a lever or even an enemy. And Johnny can fly over stuff, like if there's red lasers that Sue can't go through, you can fly over them with Johnny. There's also this thing called team powers where you can team up together and do like specific moves like specific members can, but you never really end up using it throughout gameplay. It's just useless. I do want to preface this by saying that there are some elements about the combat and powers that I do find kind of interesting, like Sue's telekinesis power here. I kind of like that. I think that's cool. But mostly combat feels quite stiff and pedestrian in this game. More of a means to an end than something that's actually fun. Typically there's also a mini boss fight in the middle of the mission. That's pretty easy. All you do is just throw stuff at them or hit them. Nothing complicated like the end of level boss fights like we're about to see. So each level was made up of 3 different acts. That was the end of Act 1. Act 2 starts with this flying segment with Johnny, and I wish I could say better things about it, but it just flat out sucks. They have these terrible tilt controls on by default. I had to turn them off. The rate of fire of the fireballs just made no sense to me. It almost feels like you're rolling the dice each time you press square if it's actually going to shoot a fireball or not.
Hey, could you make this a challenge?
Luckily, it's a pretty short sequence, though.
I didn't do it. I don't care.
Get rid of it.
Fast!
Someone's definitely watching us.
What were they thinking with this shot? I mean, really, what were they thinking with this shot? So the second act of this level follows the same pattern as the first. Make your way through the scroll base, don't die, all that kind of stuff. What's crazy about this game is that there are a ton of elevators in this game. Like, I shit you not, there's maybe 6 to 8 elevators in most levels. Like, except for maybe 1 or 2 levels which don't have any. There are a ton of elevators in this game. It's genuinely surprising.
Doc!
Okay, that was weird.
You think? Whatever it was, it may be the source of the cosmic surge.
You saw what it did to us, how it affected us.
Yes. Now we need to know how. And why.
So the gist is that this cosmic energy is messing with the Fantastic Four's powers. I've never seen Rise of the Silver Surfer. I saw the first one, but not Rise of the Silver Surfer, so I don't know if it mirrors the plot of that movie or not too well, but
Our manning operation here is nearly complete. Just in time for your world's extinction.
So the boss for the first level is Super Skrull, and I didn't know what to do at first because just hitting him did nothing. It turns out you need to throw stuff at this middle sphere, which is basically like his shield battery, think of it as, and then attack him, that kind of thing, you know, disable the shield, attack until the life bar goes down.
Fantastic!
Well done, team.
So you get out of the volcano in what is probably the cheapest, worst executed cutscene I have ever seen in my entire life.
I'm gonna have to agree with Johnny. Nice work, Sue.
Somebody had to get us back in time for the wedding.
I am on my hands and knees begging these people to at least try. Just give 1% of an effort. At the end of each act and in the pause menu, you're given an opportunity to spend coins you earn on upgrades for each of the 4 characters, which is a good idea. There's some depth there. However, the execution of it leaves a lot to be desired because by default your characters are absolutely terrible, and with no damage upgrades, enemies feel like they take like 10 hits to take down. So you're spending all of your points on damage upgrades and it feels like you can never get up on health. So it always feels like you're trying to get your head above water because by the time you have damage maxed out for all of them, now it's halfway through the game, and now you're spending the rest of the game just trying to get your head above water on health, let alone the special powers upgrades. And by the time you feel like you're finally in a good place statistics wise, the game is over. So the second level takes place in New York at Sue and Johnny's wedding. And we all know something bad is gonna happen here. A bad guy's gonna show up or something. Like in WWE when they have a whole setup in the ring. Like what are they gonna do with that Thanksgiving table? We know what's gonna happen here.
What is that, your phone?
That's our luck running out.
Looks like we got us some wedding crash.
This is just personal preference, but I like the look of the New York levels more. They're more brighter, more cheery. I like that.
He saved them. Why would he do that?
So Johnny takes after the Silver Surfer, and then is another Johnny flying section. We know how those are. For this third act, you're on the low poly streets of New York as opposed to the rooftops. And I have to say, it's really distracting how low quality the city is. I mean, if there was like a background thing, okay, but it's right in front of your face. So you have like these Roblox textures, this like very simplistic kind of look to what's supposed to be New York City. And it literally looks like a Roblox level. It's just hard to look past. It almost reminds me of the city from Hide the Fart or Stick RPG on Addicting Games. So the boss is this weird flying ship crustacean thingy. You just throw stuff and fireballs at it till it dies. Same MO as usual. And another pointless flying portion to cap off the level. The next level takes place in a Russian space station. You're after Ivan Kragoff, aka the Red Ghost, because he's been doing research on the whereabouts of the Silver Surfer. The enemies in this level are ape-centric damage sponges, so it's pretty frustrating having to clear a room compared to other levels because these apes just take so much damage. Especially at a point in the game where you don't really have the damage bar maxed out for all characters. For the next act, you can only play as Reed. Kind of like the Johnny flying levels, there's an individual level for each 4 members throughout the course of the game. I got stuck on this part. I didn't know how to destroy the power box on the other side to disable the laser gate. I actually had to search it up online. It turns out you have to throw a projectile while the elevator is going down in the right position so that it arcs just perfectly and takes out the box, which I think is a little ridiculous. I mean, you know, that kind of level of precision for just a main objective seemed a little ridiculous, but okay, let's skip ahead a bit. So after narrowly escaping the Red Ghost, you find a cosmic power spike in this like cave temple type thing, hoping that this is where the Silver Surfer is. The main enemies of this level are like these rock monsters, and they're not too bad. I mean, I can accept it, but when they start to get bigger as the level goes on, they can get pretty frustrating. The main gimmick of this level is these light beacons that you have to move or turn around, whatever the shape of the thing is, you have to do that. And it's kind of like from Battle for Bikini Bottom at Goo Lagoon, where you have to like, you know, reflect the mirrors in the light guard tower. Kind of like that. But one thing that really gets on my nerves is that the light beam has collision. So if there's a player or an enemy standing in front of that light beam, it'll just cut off. And you kind of have to like nudge them out of the way. It's frustrating.
Check out this statue!
Is it my imagination or did it just move?
Get down!
So the boss for this level is Terrax, and he's not too difficult. You just have to angle the beams so that they hit this one spot, and then it'll knock him down, and then you have to do as much damage until he stands up. Repeat the process over and over. So in the cutscene from the next level, they capture the Silver Surfer with a tachyon emitter, and then they interrogate him.
I have readied this planet for the arrival of Galactus. Nothing can change this. You would do well to accept your fate.
So here's the exposition rundown. Galactus is going to consume the planet because there's a source of cosmic energy on it, in this case the Silver Surfer's board. Well, they have to destroy the Silver Surfer's board, but Dr. Doom steals it before they can.
If you take that board, the world is doomed.
Doomed? Oh, you don't know how right you are, Susan.
One thing I do like about this game is that they have unlockable costumes. I'm a sucker for customization, so I like that. So this level takes place in the military base, and for this act specifically, kind of centers around turning off gates and going through the blue ones as Sue, and you know, you see the footage, you see what the gist is. That's kind of the gist. One thing that really got to me is that at the end of each hallway, there's these turrets that just rain fire, and I didn't know if I was supposed to use the thing's shield ability or what there. Turns out there's a power box that you have to use the periscope punch to take out, but I didn't know this at all. There's no hints, no nothing, so I just ran around them. After taking yet another elevator, you finally reach this big wide open room, and it's time for Sue's individual mission.
Let me handle it.
This next act is a stealth focus act. It's relatively short, and honestly, it's really not too bad. I don't know why, but it just kind of reminded me of the 2004 Hulk game with the Bruce Banner stealth segments. That kind of like Metal Gear Flaccid kind of thing. Like I said, it's pretty short. It's probably the shortest of all the acts in the game, quite honestly, but not too bad. Once you're done with that, you head back downstairs to fight this mini-boss. You know the MO by now. Keep hitting him, don't die. More gates and robot bullshit. So you get to the hangar and you find out that the general knew about the aliens all along. They were just using you to, I guess, get to the Silver Surfer. I'm not entirely sure, but they were using you for something. So the main boss for this level is like that robot thingy that was the mini boss earlier, but there's just multiple stages, so you just deplete their health multiple times. I love how this door just crumbles like it's made of plywood or something. It's too much. After that, you end up in this big room with a large missile in it. Honestly, I had no idea what to do at this point. I ran around the room, there's nothing. I tried to use the periscope punch on this power box, nothing. I even searched it up online, and the GameFAQs forum post from like 2009 that was talking about this exact same section, no replies, nothing. I didn't know what to do for like 20 minutes. Hand to God, 20 minutes. It turns out there's actually an elevator panel that's right here, just flush with the floor. Doesn't stick out at all. It literally looks like a rubber mat or something. It doesn't even look like an elevator. So after you make your way through even more robots and gates, you finally get to an elevator, and then there's the final cutscene of the level with Doom.
Please, Victor, think of what you're doing. The Earth will be destroyed.
No, that's where you're wrong, Sue. It won't. Because I'm going to save it.
What? Come again?
But you'd have to take on
Galactus, yes. And with the enhanced power at my disposal, I'll be ready.
You need our help.
No! I will not share this glory. And after I save this miserable little planet, it will be mine for the taking.
After tracking down Doom in the Fantastic Car, you finally arrive at the final level, Shanghai. I'm probably biased here because I like that city design, that aesthetic, that look from level design, but I really don't dislike this level too much. Like, the level itself definitely feels rushed. Like, it's kind of giving I'm doing my homework right before class a little bit, but I can't really outright hate it, because I just like the look of it, even if it's not done the best. So after you make your way through the street full of enemies, you finally get to the final boss battle with Doom. Ironically, this is probably one of the easiest boss battles, because all you have to do is wait until he just passes by the trajectory of the beam, and then shoot him, and then he'll get knocked off the board, and then you just have to damage him as much as possible. If you're quick, you can clear this boss battle in 2 or 3 turns, like, real quick. So you take out Doom and Galactus off screen, and that's pretty much it.
Since Mom and Dad took the car, I'm wondering how you're getting home. Later, big guy.
You little son of a... Guess it's gonna be a long walk. I think I'll take my time.
No, I'm sorry. This low key kind of pissed me off. I can't lie. This is really scummy of them to do. Because it's like, how is Ben gonna get back home? How is Ben gonna get back home? He can't take Spirit Airlines back to New York. I mean, Johnny flew away. They took the Fantastic car. What's he gonna do? I'm probably putting a little too much thought into this, but this leads into my closing statement about Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. There's just not a lot of effort put behind it. I mean, it makes sense for a movie tie-in game, but the environments and enemies are both very dull and boring. But even then, I don't think it's entirely the developer's fault that this game is bad. I think it's just hard to do a Fantastic Four video game in general. Consider a game like the Batman Arkham series. Those missions are designed to be done as Batman. Like those are Batman missions. Now consider a game like Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. There's just too many abilities and differences and play styles between the four characters to have a truly engaging gameplay loop. You have to make the objectives and core loop more general so that all four characters can do them. And as a result, you end up stripping away the game's identity and making it a very monotonous loop. And I feel like something similar happened to the Fantastic Four game, unfortunately. But even within those circumstances, the cutscenes are very awkwardly animated, the gameplay is very stiff and frankly sterile, and combat is completely ruined by the upgrade system. I mean, the upgrade system makes every enemy feels like a total sponge until the last two missions in the game, where it doesn't even matter anymore. It's not even like everything is just all horrible, it's just everything is so mediocre that it's like a weighted average of horrible, if that makes sense. Like, everything is such a 4 or 5 out of 10 that it brings the collective score down to a 3 out of 10, if that makes sense.
Come on, it's Marion time.